Talk to me, TMZ.
How you doing, champ?
I'm doing okay. You know, I ain't doing nothing but living life. You know, I live a great life, lavish life. Definitely keep a pocket full of money, as you can see.
God.
What's up, TMZ? The Mayweather zone, the money zone, whatever y'all want to talk about.
Speaking about that money. So, Khabib.
Yes.
He said he wants to fight you. You said get the checkbook ready. How serious is this?
I said, what I exactly said is CBS.
Right.
Showtime. MGM Grand. Get that checkbook ready, because you already know I'm Floyd Money Mayweather. I'm in the check cashing business. I'm about that money.
Right. So, you're serious about this. You would take the fight with Khabib.
Are we fighting?
Oh, you are?
I'm my own boss.
Right.
So I can't say what's going on Khabib end, but on my end, we can make it happen. Then I've seen that on IG and on social media, he put, I think basically, yeah, he'll fight, but he don't want to fight in Vegas. Of course, we know Vegas is the fighting capital.
Yeah.
And after the fight, you have to conduct yourself like a true professional, not just in the ring, but outside the ring also. You must conduct yourself like a professional. And it was a big melee. I haven't had a chance to see it, but from what I heard, it was a crazy melee.
Is that a concern of yours, that Khabib could go crazy after the match if you guys fight?
It is what it is.
Is it going to be in the boxing ring or the octagon?
Who's the A side? TMZ, all you got to say is who's the A side. He called me out, so he got to come to my world.
So we're talking about boxing here.
Always.
Okay.
Always from the hand game. And from I seen on the interview, he said, well, when he hit Conor McGregor, he knocked Conor McGregor down. He said, I didn't knock Conor McGregor down. But, okay, so, Khabib, you got my leftovers. Whoopie-doo.
Well, because you were training MMA for a while, and you seemed like you were interested in taking an MMA fight. Is that still something you're looking to do?
I'm Floyd Mayweather. I'm the A side. You call me out. You come into my world. Once again, I don't know no other fighter that has done the numbers that I've done.
Sure.
I don't know no other fighters that has made the money that I've made. So he called me out. Come into my world. Let's make it happen. When I face Khabib, of course, I'm getting a 9-figure payday.
Right.
So.
More than the money fight, McGregor Mayweather?
Yes.
It'd be more.
Yes, it's more than a McGregor fight.
How much more you thinking?
I'm probably $100 million more.
$100 million more?
Yes, guaranteed.
So what is that? 200 million guaranteed?
It's somewhere. It could be somewhere upwards. I'm gonna say between 110 and 200 million guaranteed.
So I know you have some feelings about this. I'll let you start with your reaction to Mayweather versus Khabib. The guy who didn't want to do boxing, made fun of McGregor. Now here he is wanting that fight.
I'm coming from the MMA side first.
Okay, let me hear it.
MMA side, 155 is so crowded in that top 4 or 5 guys.
Ferguson's looking good.
Okay, you got Ferguson, Poirier, Khabib, Conor, and we'll leave it at that.
Yeah,
we'll leave it at that.
That's enough.
That's enough. That's enough to.
Diaz might come down to 55.
Yeah, that's enough to tie up a division for a year at least.
And then now you're gonna have Askren's coming to the UFC.
But Askren's not going to 55.
But
Askren
he might go up to 70. There's fights from MMA though.
Yeah,
basically.
Yeah, there is. GSP has been talking about 55.
Yes, he's talked about wanting to Khabib too.
Right now he's 179.
Yeah. There's enough fights for him in MMA.
So for on an MMA, the lightweight division has been the last couple years been so clogged up. Yeah. This fight would be absolute fuckery to make. It'd be absolute fuckery. To make this fight before the end of 2020 makes no fucking sense whatsoever.
What about the boxing side?
On the boxing side, shit, this makes all the sense in the world, bro. You're the #1 boxer. Come back. You never really got hit when you fought real boxers. Now you're gonna get hit less and paid more.
Is it offensive that he's avoiding some of these top gunners like the Crawford? Because there's a lot of guys who are offensive.
There's offensive and then there's good business.
Okay.
So
with all that being said, and
I don't want to see this though. Yeah. I don't want to watch this.
I mean, where are we watching it though?
I don't understand something. There's too much going on at 155.
Yeah.
For us to justify this fight going down.
No, I understand that. Like for Dana White and them, especially with the headache that came with McGregor, that's fine. But just from another standpoint,
we're gonna have to.
Where are we watching?
And then we're gonna have to listen to Oscar De La Hoya hate more. You know what I mean? Jump
Yeah.
on some more Xanax.
No,
you
yeah,
know
you're
what I'm
right.
saying?
Like, it
gonna
has caused
get-
a circus.
It's gonna get weird.
No, it has caused a circus. Can't deny that. But where are we watching it?
Probably here.
Okay, so
My point is, you don't want to see this
with
fight.
that being said, you're lying because you do want to see it. Just like Tito versus Chuck. Where are we watching it?
I don't know if I want to watch the first murder in MMA, bro.
Where are we watching it?
Still probably here, but you're missing the point.
I think you're missing the point. The overall point of this is it's entertainment. All right.
Yeah.
I was just watching Tyson Fury on the Joe Rogan podcast, and he said he understands why Anthony Joshua is not taking a fight with either him or Wilder. It's the goose, the golden egg, right?
Yeah.
For Mayweather, let's just go the Mayweather side of this. Why this is genius. Like you said, you're making more money than ever to fight guys that have no business in there with you as a boxer, period. There's guys who, if they could fight Khabib and just box in MMA, would destroy him, in my opinion. Right? We've never seen him lose, but that's...
No.
You can assume he's not the best striker, but based on what we've seen.
Yeah.
You're making more money than ever. You have an excuse to avoid all these other people because what? We're going to watch it anyway. How many boxers had so much stuff to say about the McGregor-Mayweather fight, and where were they the night of the fight?
They were either there or watching it.
All of them were watching. You remember the press conference in Toronto?
Yeah.
And this is another thing that I said. How many Mayweather haters? I've been around Mayweather haters, especially in boxing, for years. Like, I grew up with a bunch of boxing guys who were Mexicans, and you know how y'all feel about Mayweather.
Yeah.
All right, maybe not all of you. But
Majority.
did you notice how, because it was MMA versus boxing, how they all got behind Mayweather?
They had to.
First time in his career, I watched people who I've never seen support this man, like completely get behind him just because it was against an MMA guy, because it was the honor of their sport.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, one of the worst things that's ever happened to boxing, in my opinion, was MMA, right?
Yeah.
The attention they get, like the Terrence Crawfords of the world should be bigger names than Khabib. No offense, but they should.
No, 100%.
The Lomachenkos of the world should be bigger names. Two-time Olympians. Like, there's so
In
many...
all fairness, you could say Lomachenko should be the biggest name right now.
There's so many guys who've accomplished so much as amateur boxers, so much as pro boxers who have, 27-0 is impressive. In boxing, that's not that impressive.
No.
Deontay Wilder is an American heavyweight champ with 39 knockouts, undefeated. He would have been a god in the 90s.
Yeah.
So one of the worst things that ever happened was MMA,
And now HBO's out.
and so you know for a fact that a lot of boxers hated what he did by bringing that attention to McGregor, because it made McGregor bigger than ever.
Yeah.
Mayweather didn't need McGregor. McGregor benefited more from that fight than anybody.
Especially on the commercial side with who looks at him now.
And so the fact that on his way out, he's able to not only spite a lot of these boxing promoters, because that was always his thing, is I'm my own boss. He's always made a point about Golden Boy, Bob Arum, all these guys. You're not only making more money than ever, you're fighting guys that are way easier than if you really wanted to fight with the Crawfords of the world. Him and Lomachenko are close enough in a weight class that we could watch that happen. Like, you're able to avoid these tougher fights to make more money. And while disrespecting the sport is backing you more than ever. I mean, this is unheard of. I've never seen the boxing world support Mayweather.
That's a good point, man.
And what happened with him and McGregor, to me, was one of the worst things that could have happened to boxing. Now, to the point where Khabib, a guy who was making fun of McGregor about being a boxer, a guy who said he's not a real fighter, he's playing this, the minute you got a taste of some good money, he looked at that check. I don't know what's happening with his check in Vegas.
Well, they gave him $1 million back,
Yeah.
and then the other $1 million is pending the December.
So he's
check.
never made $1 million, right?
Yeah.
And I think it's easy when you hear somebody made $100 million, like, we hear that. But when it's actually your name on that check, and you look and say, that's my name, and this is my money, that's when you start realizing, like, wait, so these other opportunities are there. Yeah. I think it's a genius move from his both standpoints. I think it's terrible for boxing, and I think it's terrible for Dana White. But at the end of the day, we're watching it.
So let me ask you this: are you, especially you're in both worlds? You love
huge
boxing,
fan.
huge boxing fan, MMA fighter, and love MMA.
Yeah.
Are you looking at it as a disrespect or a good business move?
I'm looking at it as both. Like, let me say, guys like me love this. I love the McGregor thing. I'm a McGregor fan. I love Mayweather. I love watching all these people who hated on Mayweather all these years having to shut their mouths, and now you're somehow to knock me because I'm the MMA guy. But it's like, wait, I remember when it was Canelo versus Mayweather.
Yeah.
Mayweather ran. Mayweather did all this funny stuff. And I remember at the press conference, I remember them showing the Canelo fight, and then they showed McGregor Diaz. McGregor was actually running from Diaz.
Legit.
There was literally a point where we watched him run away.
Yeah.
If you watch the Canelo fight and you call Mayweather a runner, then one, you didn't watch the fight, or two, you're just not real. You don't know anything about boxing.
Yeah.
He did not run from Canelo at all.
No, because what a lot of people were talking about, when he was up against
doesn't
Rhodes.
run.
No, he doesn't.
There's
There's a difference between footwork and running.
Yeah, there's guys who move way more than he does. Lomachenko does not run. He moves more than Mayweather. I don't call what Mayweather does running. He has good defense.
Yeah.
So I love that so many real boxing fans, guys who even hate MMA, you can say, their opinions have been exposed for what it is, because now when it became MMA versus boxing, all of a sudden you realize that, okay, yeah, maybe my guy Mayweather doesn't really run, and oh man, well, rewatching that Canelo fight, I was scared of that fight.
Yeah,
that was a fight that I was like, that was
that was young Canelo.
I was nervous, right?
Yeah,
and dude, watching how he dominated him, I made the same comment. The golden goose thing with Anthony Joshua. Canelo should have never taken that fight. Think about it this way. If Canelo doesn't fight Mayweather, he's an undefeated Mexican champion.
Yeah.
When's the last time boxing has had that? He's the biggest star in the game right now with an L. Imagine if he never takes that L to Mayweather. And he never had a reason to fight Mayweather. Yeah. He went after it. He could have fought a whole bunch of other guys. So now we're watching this whole...
Well, you gotta remember, De La Hoya was in his ear a little bit too, trying to push that.
Well, he hyped him,
you know what I mean? Because he wanted to get... He wanted to, kind of live through him and try to get that one back.
And that's fine. He took the L, moved on. But like I said, having that O at the end of your record means something.
Yeah.
I mean, there was Luis Castillo. A lot of people argue that he beat Mayweather's first fight, which I don't agree with. That's a hater move. But Mayweather came back and dominated him. Even if Mayweather would have lost a split decision and then came back and had the exact same career, he beats up Castillo, does all that, he would not be the guy we are talking about now today because of that one. Right. Even John Jones has never actually lost a fight. We don't call him undefeated champ, which he is.
Yeah. He lost to a stupid rule because of the 12-6 levels.
He got the sharp out. And even with that one, we don't talk about him in the same category as we do Khabib, which is baffling to me. Yeah. His record is way more impressive, yet we give Khabib the 27-0. It doesn't matter that he beat Albert Quinta. We don't care. It doesn't matter that he fought a bunch of guys that we never heard of.
Remember, we got to look at the commercial side of it. The reason why John has 2 years of dominance to do to kind of put all the extracurricular shit.
And that's fair enough. Yeah. And
that's why they're not regarded the same.
But even before he got in trouble, you were not allowed to call him undefeated champion. No. Even during fights, Rogan would go.
Dana did say, yo, he's not even really
exactly. But the fact that you even have to have that asterisk next to it is still an issue. I don't think Mayweather's career would have been the same. So as I look at it from a business move, I think Canelo made a mistake by fighting Mayweather. I don't think he had to do that. Yeah. I think his overall legend would have been a bigger deal. And then I look at this Anthony Joshua thing, which is why I agree with Tyson Fury. We may never see him fight Fury or Wilder because that one fight may be biggest fight in history, but the next 5 where you know you can beat the guy, you're a huge star. He's a commercial star. Yeah, it makes sense. So,
dude, he's huge.
Huge star. And so, like I said, this Fury fight's a big deal. Not to go off the handle too much, but kind of to relate to it. Deontay Wilder has 39 knockouts. Never in history of American heavyweight fighters has a guy had this record and not been a superstar. Yeah. I mean, in the 90s, now you could argue he wouldn't have beaten those guys in the 90s, and that's why. But in the 90s, if you get to 30-0 and you have 29 knockouts, look at how long it took Tyson to become a star. Yeah. Tyson already had a loss this many fights in, and he was a way bigger star, right? Bigger, yeah. Even now today, as Wilder is still fighting. Mm-hmm. So as we look at this, like I said, I'm a huge Mayweather fan. Same with the Khabib thing. I called Conor to win it because I wanted him to, because I said I think Khabib's going to retire, which I think the nonsense he did after was proof that I think he was ready to be done. Yeah. Now you want to box. This is why I think it was bad for the sport.
Now he's mentioning GSP.
If McGregor wins, we'd already be talking about him versus GSP. I think that would have been the automatic fight, or him versus Ferguson. Mm-hmm. Now because Khabib won, I think he's looking for money, and here we are talking about him versus Mayweather. But like I said, man, all you haters of Mayweather, all you haters of McGregor, just remember, when your favorite guy Khabib was talking all that nonsense, the minute he got that check, what's he doing now?
Changing
all you guys who don't like Mayweather and the way he does things, fair enough. Look at how he's got these boxing fans, everybody behind him. And I'm sorry, this would be the biggest fight in boxing again. Yeah, the biggest fight in boxing, whether people like it or not.
When people see number 1 and number 2, boxing's gonna have its own asterisk because now it's gonna be MMA guy, cool.
Yeah, McGregor versus Mayweather was bigger than Triple G and Canelo both fights. Yeah. The number 1 fight is Pacquiao and Mayweather, and this I think would be in the top 3. Yeah. And so, like I said, For all you haters, just remember, there's a reason Mayweather's the greatest. He is one of those guys that proves this is a sweet science, not just in, but outside.
Yeah.
There's a lot of dummies who fought who aren't smart, and they're there for guys like him to be great. I think he's a genius. I would like to see him fight all the MMA champs. Who wants next?
You're crazy.
I'm crazy, but let's be honest.
crazy.
What's the last boxing match you watched other than the Canelo Triple G?
The Terrence Crawford fight that just
And
happened.
that's because he's Terrence Crawford. And how many people honestly watched that fight?
100,000.
Yeah. And he's probably the best pound for pound boxer. So
Yeah.
I don't know where you guys are gonna be watching it, but I know I can't wait.
It's gonna
Stop
be a
faking.
thing. It's gonna be a thing.
All right, and we're also watching Tito Ortiz Odell. I don't care what you're talking about.
I don't know about that.
Okay.
I don't know about
I'll
that.
bring pizza.
I don't.